whatever y'all want to do, use them. Whatever's left, I'll take some back with me or whatever we end up doing. So there's no, and I thank you for bringing that up. I got to mention something. If you go to the website on the back of this, you can download all these handouts to your phone. You have the first 4 videos. You can automatically get the links. They're already uploaded. So those are all available that anybody can download. You can download the PowerPoints. I have all of this, everything I use, you have access to. I put it out there. You can go get it, and you can give these anybody you'd like to. I have them, I think, the better. Not because I did it. I have about 400 hours of research in this. I have a lot of time in this. I've invested a lot of money in this, and I don't want it back. So I think it's a good resource, not because I did it, but parents just need to know. So all that's online. You can do that, and anybody can fill out that form, and they'll automatically, when we produce new material, we're going to send it out. So in the next couple of weeks, I expect the last videos, which is from from Gutenberg and the little screen from Aeon to Beyond, those will be uploaded. We'll send out emails. Hey, all of these are available. So let's talk about rules for technology. We're going to kind of gently walk through these. There's a couple of them I want us to see. And then I want us to talk about Section 7 and Section 8, talk a little bit about a word and why it's there. Matter of fact, Section number 7, from Gutenberg to the little screen, that's the longest set of handouts. There's twice as much information there as in any other segment because it's the heart of this. It's the heart of this, and we'll see that in a minute. And then we'll talk about AI, and then we'll put it into our night. Let's talk about technology and rules. Okay, 10 rules to develop conversations between parents and children. 10 rules. Here's rule number 1. You do not own the device. You know whose device this is? You know who? My children have a tablet each. You know who that tablet belongs to? That's Daddy's tablet in a Mickey Mouse protective case. That's right. That green protective case, you know whose that is? That's mine. That PlayStation 5, you know who that belongs to? Doesn't belong to them. Now, one day, I'm going to give it to them. That tablet's not going to make it to that time, but maybe by chance a PlayStation 5. Do you know who it belongs to? That's got to be a rule. It's got to be a rule. Because you know who's paying for it? You know who's responsible for it? I've got to set that as a rule. They've got to know. We own the device. You're permitted to access the device. And if it's not used in a, listen to this, responsible way, you will be restricted and it will even be removed. I have taken my son's PlayStation away because he got in trouble. Oh, it melted him, okay? It melted him. Why? Because he loved that thing. And I took it and I set it on the entertainment center in the living room, unplugged. And I left it there for a week. Hey, it's tough. But you've got to be responsible. And I want to create conversations that help us build responsibility. Because you know what we're losing? Responsibility. Nobody's accountable for their actions. Nobody's responsible for anything they do. Words don't mean anything. Oh, yes, they do. And yes, you are accountable for your actions. So rule number 1, if we're going to have technology in our house, you don't own it. I do. Mom and Daddy do. And you can use it if you can be responsible. Here's rule number 2. And this is a big one. This really should be rule number 1. Passwords are not secrets. I want to tell you something that's true. My phone uses a thumbprint. You know who else's thumbprint's on my phone? My wife. She knows my passwords. Now, I've got a lot of passwords, okay? Oh, she knows most of them. I have them written down, so she needs to find them. She can. But there's no secrets in that. You want to know why? Because I wouldn't mind unlocking my phone and giving it to any of you and letting you see what's here. I don't have secrets. And my children need to know. Mom and Daddy don't have secrets because we need them to know that they don't have secrets from us. Passwords are not secrets. Now, my kids don't know my passwords. Now, y'all are going to learn this with your Unify Access. What we did at Finley is we gave every group, we're broken up into 4 groups to kind of facilitate some meals and other things we need to do. And we gave every ties group together involving everyone's service. We gave everybody's ties groups a code. You know who knows all the codes? Our kids. Okay. Don't give your kids all your passwords because they will log into anything. Okay, now it's not been a problem for us because our kids have been responsible. By the way, your access system records who tags in the door. Really good thing to check in on. Just because things get out of hand, things do, but passwords aren't secrets. I know my kids' passwords. Matter of fact, I set them up. And that's how it's going to be. I will have unlimited access to their device at any time I want it. All passwords will be shared. The passwords will be shared. Any application passwords will be shared. Anything that exists will be shared. And I have the right at any time to log into anything I want to. You want to know why? Because I'm not the Son. I'm not the Son. In this occasion, I'm not the Son. And that's my responsibility. So I need to be able to communicate. It's not because I don't trust you. I do trust my children. It's because I don't trust everybody else. And we need to have those conversations with them because they don't understand. You know how they see it? You don't trust me? You remember being a teenager and it was foggy at night and your mama didn't want you to drive the basketball game? That happened to me once. I said, Mama, it's going to be okay. Well, it's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust everybody else. You know, that really made sense to me because okay, it's not about me, communication. Here's rule number 3. You don't have any privacy. You don't have any privacy. There's a video of a dad online. His daughter came home and she went in her room and she locked her door. Well, his rule was no locked doors in the house. He came home. Door was locked. He just happened to have a battery-operated reciprocal saw in his garage, and he went to it and he cut a big hole in that door. He said, "Told you not to lock it," and walked away. Now, I'm not asking you to cut something apart. But might have to, okay? Might have to. There's no privacy when it comes to this. Your parents are your parents. And by the way, you know what that means? We are the parents. I'm not here to help you get away with whatever somebody else might help you get away with. Digital access is not a right. We've got to get that. It's a luxury. These things aren't cheap. Y'all price a new cell phone? I'm nerdy enough to want a nice one. Okay? It's getting expensive. Y'all bought a new computer lately and not one that you can get at Walmart? Oh, that'll eat you up. Okay? Any of these things, they're just expensive and it's not a luxury. Every text message, I have the right to see. Every private message, I have the right to read. Every direct message, if I want to see it or any message of any kind, you know who gets to see it? Because the internet's forever. We'll talk about why that is in just a minute when we talk about from Gutenberg to the little screen, the big screen. Here's number 4. You do not have the ability to remove apps from the device. This is where something like Bark is very important. Kids can take something off their phone and then reinstall it later and log in, and you never know they did it. Okay? That can be a morning and night routine for them. Okay? They don't have the right to do that. Parents are the only ones who have the ability to put something on a phone and remove it. This includes smartphones, tablets, but don't miss this. You know what else we have these days? Smartwatches. This is just neat, y'all. This is just the neatest thing ever. I love to pull up my wallet on my phone or on my watch. Beep. Isn't that cool? Man, you remember seeing the Jetsons? Weren't we supposed to be flying in cars by now? I mean, we're not, but that's the neatest thing ever that we thought, we can do these things. Gaming consoles, smartwatches, all of this. If it's connected to the internet, you don't have the ability to do anything to it without me knowing. It's not just for phones. I want you to know it's not just for phones. Nintendo Switches, PlayStations, Xboxes, they all have web browsers. Okay? They all have web browsers. So it's not just a smartphone thing. It's a computer thing. It's a tablet thing. It's a watch thing. All this is in, and you don't have the right to take anything off of it or put anything on it without me asking. That's why my children's tablets, when they want to download an app, I get an email. Boop. Charlie would like to have. Approve or deny? Deny. Approve. Now, I always tell him when I say, hey, you can't have that, here's why. Communication. Remember, what we're trying to do, foster communication. Here's rule 5. You might receive content that has 0 parental approval. A young man, not where I live now, where I used to live, in his high school, a a racy photo, and what I mean by that is a nude photo was sent around to all the boys in school of one of the girls in school. It got sent to a boy, and he said, you know what, everybody needs to see this. It came to this young man's phone. I was so proud of this young man. He went to his mama and said, Mama, I got something to show you. She was a teacher, so she already knew. And he came to her first. That's what this is about. Not everybody lives by the same rules. And guess what? Life's not fair. Sure isn't. I didn't think it was fair at 3:45 this morning. It didn't feel fair at all. You know, sometimes life ain't fair. And that's okay. Life's not fair. You know, if someone asks for a racy photo, I just don't know if I can use, I don't know if I can use that word talking about kids anymore. I just don't know if I can do it. It's really, no. Talk to your parents. If you receive a photo, talk to your parents. Don't panic. Don't panic. Tennessee Bureau of Investigation actually got involved in that case, and they know who sent it and who received it, and whether they sent it again. We're not talking about minuscule things. Problems can be fixed. That's rule number 5. Here's rule number 6. Parental controls are on your phone. I encourage you, if you take anything away from this, this is it. Put something on that device. You are the parent. You put some kind of control on it. It's going to cost you money. Pay it with gladness. Pay it with gladness. This is not an option. It's not removable. It's not to be tampered with or messed with. The good thing about a lot of those is that, like the bark and such, you can't get it off without parent codes. It's not because we don't trust you. It's because we live in a digital reality. And by the way, adults struggle with this too. There's an app called Covenant Eyes. I've installed it on a number of individuals' phones for their families. And what it does is it constantly is looking at what happens on the screen. It's looking for wordage, for imagery. Now, it won't send you what they see. It'll send you a granular picture of what they see, and you can tell what it is. So if you've got somebody that's struggling with pornography, it's a great accountability program to help them be accountable. You can have check-ins with people. It's because we live in a digital reality. These things have to exist. Maybe even we need these. Here's rule 7. You will answer your parents now. If I call you, you better answer. I talk to my oldest. Sometimes I'll call them if they're at home, and I'll call them on Facebook Messenger. He's only 10. He's not getting a cell phone. And that's how I call him. But on his tablet, it won't ring. And I didn't know this. So I got home, and I said, buddy, go look at your tablet. What? Go look at Messenger. Oh, I missed a call. I said, did it not ring? You know, you know how you are sometimes. You know, you got that voice on, and you just really gruff because you've been stewing on it all day. Just ignore me? He said, it never rang. Oh. I installed a phone in my house, so they know that if I call this phone, you got till I quit calling it to answer, or I'm coming home. That's how you answer. That's how kids answer their phones. Now I know you can't text them in the middle of basketball practice or call. We've got to be responsible with this. But if I call you, you better call me back. If you miss it, call me back. Text me back. Let me know why. What's the one thing we worry about more than ourselves? Kids. What does the mind do when you can't get your kid to answer the phone? Oh, they've been in a wreck. Oh, somebody's got a hold of them. Oh, they're doing something. The mind does just crazy things to parents. Failure to communicate is a red flag. That's rule number 7. Rule number 8. Your devices are not unlimited in time. We have a space in our house. It's the tablet zone, and it's where all tablets reside. They don't stay in bedrooms at night. They don't get to be with you all the time. If it's getting charged, it's getting charged right there. They know where it's at. It's in our kitchen. It's just a little side. We've got extra plugs. We put in extra plugs when we renovated our house just to charge tablets and phones and this and that, because they're going to stay right there because it's not unlimited. You know, when we saw the internet emerge, you had to have a desktop computer that was the size of these pews. You remember that? That monitor that weighed 200 pounds. Didn't look great. but you were excited about it. Look how small that is. That's how small that is. You don't have unlimited access to things that you don't have, no matter where you're at, whether you're at church, family gatherings, wherever you're at. That's rule number 8. Rule number 9, your personality is not digital. This is a conversation you need to have. You are you. It is it. The only it is right here. This is the only it that exists. You're not an it. Your digital footprint is not your personality. Social media, gaming, other digital sites are great, but you can get lost in that. You can get lost in that, and you may not become or be the person you expect you to be. Nothing replaces face-to-face. We talked a lot about that today. Nothing replaces face-to-face contact. The ability to talk to others. Have you talked to high school kids lately? I love to do this. I like to use words they don't know. Like, hi, how you doing? And you know, I say that as a joke. I want to tell you that if you will invest in young people, they'll be there. We do a program every Friday night after home football games. We host a program called Fifth Quarter, and we have anywhere from 60 to 160 high school kids at the church building till midnight. Whew. But I have found if you walk up and go, hey, how's it going? They have something to say. They've just not had anybody to ask them. They've not had anybody to ask them, hi, how you doing? Hey, what can we do? I'm hoping this. The high school sent me a message the other day that they do a news program every morning, and they wanted to do a news story on Fifth Quarter, and I put in there, is there anything else you'd like us to put in there? I said, yeah, if there's something you'd like to do at Fifth Quarter, let us know. Talk to us. I hope they will. This is our 3rd year of doing it, and I promise you, talk to young people, they'll talk to you back. If you text them, they'll really talk to you. Okay, get on their level. Send them a message. Become their version of friend that they need you to be before you ever really get into that deep conversation, face to face without batteries. Otherwise, you won't have anything left. Here's rule number 10. You can break the rules. You will not get away with it forever. That's my rule in my house. I will find you out. It's expensive. I pay for it. I'm going to know everything you do. I'm just nerdy enough to know everything that happens on my home internet. That's not everybody, though. Okay? That's not everybody. Invest in something that protects your children. My children will have bark, I promise you, because I don't believe I'm equipped enough, as nerdy as I am, that I'm equipped enough to protect my children on my own. And they may break it, but they won't do it forever. Because I promise you, and we're going to see this in just a minute, if we let it go to where it goes, we won't have any kids left. Now, let's talk about, and we don't have a PowerPoint for this, I just want to talk about a couple of things, and we'll be relatively brief about this, and that means we'll get to end a little early. In the last segment, I asked you this question, and I realized I never finished it. Just a minute ago, we were talking. I said, oh, man, I forgot that. I asked y'all if y'all knew what the meanest thing in the church building was. I never told you, did I? Oh, man, I didn't think I did. Okay. Do y'all know what the meanest thing in the church building is? Any ideas? Now, y'all don't have one of these, by the way, and it's really confused me. You're one of few who do not have one of these. Yeah, somebody took the clock out of the building, okay? The meanest thing in a church building is the clock on the back wall, because I'm chasing that thing, and it's chasing me just constantly. And I have been so confused at what time it was tonight. Don't get the idea, don't put a clock back up there, okay? That's fantastic. We're just here while we're here, okay? Now, there may be a clock in here somewhere, but I just hadn't seen it. So I like it. I like it. That's the meanest thing in the church building. In these segments, I'll be honest with you. The reason video 7 and video 8 are not done is I said this in the filming of the sessions, especially in number 7. I just don't want to say what I'm about to say. And it broke me to a level that I hope it breaks you. right after number 6, From Gutenberg to the Little Screen. You know, there was a time when the Gutenberg press, it was the hottest thing that, oh man, everybody'd ever seen, because now mass production of print materials is available. And this guy by the name of Gutenberg invented it. And I have in my office, hanging in my wall in my production room with my studio, is a Psalm 1 copy off of a Gutenberg press, a replica press. I mean, they had to put every letter in there, every little symbol, and I have one. I went to a Bible museum in Memphis once, and they had this guy that brought a replica Gutenberg press. He was only there for a couple of weeks, and I told the guy, I said, hey man, I don't want to create a thing, but can I get a copy of what you're doing right here today? He says, just don't say nothing else and come back after we're done. So after everybody else got out of there, he knew I was hanging around, and I said, hey man, I'm the guy. And he knew who I was. He said, come over here and help me do it. So I helped him do that. And that's the most manual process, rolling that ink on there. You got to get every letter covered in ink, and you got to lay the paper on the thing. You drag this big thing over, and you got to roll this big weight over it all these times. Then you got to set it out, and it's got to dry. It was so complicated. You know how quick a copy machine works? It's already done. It's already finished it. I sent these out to be printed. A friend of mine owns a print business. They printed these on 11 by 17, double up, cut them, put them back in the machine, it folded and stapled them for them. Gutenberg's dream, okay? So there was a time when this one particular word we're going to talk about, it required the printing press, okay? I'm going to give you the word, and I don't like the word either. Pornography. Okay, not a comfortable word, okay, but I'm telling you there's two things at the heart of what we're studying. Obviously there's the biblical principles, but pornography is the root of a lot of this. If we could stamp pornography out, we could stamp a lot of these problems out. But I got some bad news. I don't think we'll ever stamp it out. When that printing press was made, and when we figured out how to put pictures on paper, the world's never been the same. Then that little screen, it's now the big screen, but it was little when it first was created, and it was silent movies in black and white, and they weren't smooth like you and I. They were film strips, and it would be a change. It would be a hard change, and you need to go look at a lot of old black and white original movies, and they were very stuttery. That's just how it was. And now we've gotten into things. In our studio, we've been very blessed by supporters, and we just put in a 6K camera that has remote zoom. I can sit in my studio control booth and zoom the lens in and never lose focus. Pristinely beautiful. And all this is tied together, okay? The sexual revolution of our country. That's what we're talking about here. And you know where they're reaching in now? Our kids. It wasn't enough to have the adults. It wasn't enough to sell the magazine. You remember the magazines in gas stations had that big black piece of paper in front of it? You knew what it was. I did too. They weren't fooling anybody with that black piece of paper, were they? You remember y'all remember this, VHS tapes? You'd go rent a VHS tape. Be kind, please rewind. I remember that. You remember that door that strange people always went into? You know what movies were in there? It's everything we're talking about. This is not new. At one time they were happy just having adults, but now the powers that be, and I don't know who they are. You know who they want? They want our kids. If we could stamp out greed, we could stamp this out today. At the almighty dollar, I have been to places around the world where 2 2x4s and a blue tarp was a home for a family of 4. It'd break your heart. I mean, I have never, I went back to my little hotel room that I paid $15 for, and it was about $10 too much. And it just broke. I just sat there and I thought, I better not complain again. I was in Bacolod, Philippines, and we were going to a restaurant. We had done a lecture series there, and had such a good time. Stayed in a hotel called Hotel Trish. It was $35. It was 30 too much. Okay. The previous man's shower shoes were still in there when I got to the room. Really made me comfortable. I slid a chair in front of the door when I went to bed at night. It wasn't a mariachi band, but they were playing outside, and they gave it up at 4. The cigarette smoke wafted in the window that you couldn't shut because there were iron bars in between it and the window, so you couldn't shut it. So you were just with it. And in that city, a little child comes up to me and says, "May I have $1?" Of course, I had some Filipino pesos, and I'd already been warned, don't do that. And I said, "I don't have any of your money." She said, "No, one of your dollars." Because that little child realized if I could get one American dollar, I've got more than everybody else. And it's right, they would have. They would have had more than everybody else. That hotel only cost it was 35 pesos. It wasn't a lot of money. I'm telling you that the almighty dollar, greed's driving this. And I know inside of pornography is trafficking and human trafficking, sexual trafficking. That's driving this. This segment, number 7, from Gutenberg to the little screen, is all about what pornography does to the brain, okay? I give you the statistics, and they are, I want you just to look at something. I broke it down by age segment, and just listen to this. I'm going to read a segment, I'm going to give you the age bracket. A 2022 report indicates that 73% of teens, and I'm going to leave the age out for just a second, have watched pornography online, with more than half, 54%, reporting multiple viewings. 13 to 17. 13 to 17. You keep going through, we talk about the brain, and I've given you a large amount of research and where the research comes from of what this does. And I want to pause and say something. If you are struggling with this, I know we sit here and we think it can't be one of us. It can be. In congregations, I understand y'all are about 100 and 150, is that right? In congregations of that size, we're about 200, 220. In congregations of our size, you have one who's struggling with homosexuality. You have one who's struggling with pornography. You have one who's struggling with adultery. You have one who's struggling with being a thief. I'm telling you, sin reaches in the church. And if it's you, seek out help, and that can be done privately. We talk about the damage that happens in this, and we go all the way back to 19th century, to the 1800s, and talk about how the Industrial Revolution, the Gutenberg Press, brought all this on, and you can follow all this out all the way into the future. And I want you to see something. I wish I had a page number. I'm realizing I should have put page numbers in our booklet here. The future for children aged 5 to 10. That's the age we have to start protecting our children. Really, it starts before that, doesn't it? It starts before that. And I hope, I'm telling you, I'm a man's man, and I, like many men's men, we don't cry, okay? And I will tell you this without any reservation. I struggled to put this together, and I sat in my office and I cried like a little child, because I knew that my children one day would face this, and I know it's not getting any better. And I'm telling you, it's so much worse than what's been written. It's so much worse than what's been written, because this is what it's about. It's about the sexualization of our culture. Now, let's end on a better topic, because that is just horribly depressing, I think. AI, ChatGPT, Perplexity, so many, Gronk. Doesn't Gronk sound like, that sounds like a football player out of the 80s, you know. Lineman, Gronk, you know. How'd you get hurt? Gronk hit me. That's an AI. Just you go ask it questions, it gives you answers. In education, there are a lot of good AI tools. I don't want to dismiss it, but you know what the biggest problem is? I'm writing a paper. I'm writing 2 papers. One, it's a manuscript, a 10-page manuscript, both of them, for a lectureship in Singapore, and they had me write on the use of AI in Bible study. And let me tell you, AI can be so cool in Bible study, but you know what AI does to us? Makes us lazy. You know what these things did to us? You remember your home phone number? 931-738-9737. Do you remember your own cell phone number? Maybe. Do you remember cell phone numbers now? I mean, I know my wife's number, but that's it. You want to know why? Well, I use my fingerprint. I don't even have to put in a code. And I've stored them all right here. You know what smartphones have done? Pardon the way I'm going to say this. Smartphones have made dumb people. That's what smartphones have done. We can't remember nothing. You know how to get anywhere nowadays? Apple Maps, Google Maps. There's another one, I'm sure. I forgot its name. Yeah, Waze. We're so advanced, it tells us police are reported ahead. Hey, slow down. I get tickled at that every time. Every time. Reported by 15 people. Whoa, okay. Is it still there? We're not going back from this. These things can be good. There's things like grading assistance and speech to text. Matter of fact, in all of these recorded sessions, we were asked to write a book on this. And I thought, I don't want to write a book. You know what I did? I took my lessons that I've already pre-recorded. I had AI do speech to text, text recognition, and we're going to make the book out of that. I've saved myself so much time. It can be great, but this is, of course, my work. I didn't ask it to write the book for me. But if I wanted to, I could, because in that, and I'm going to do this in Singapore, I'm going to walk in and say, here's my paper. And it's the one that AI wrote for me. That's pretty good. It's all right. You know what it lacks? Work. It lacks work. We so much want to have everything like Burger King. You know what Burger King does to us? You remember Burger King's slogan? Have it your way. You know who doesn't cook the burgers at Burger King? Us. You know, it's made us lazy. Now, I'm not saying fast food has made us lazy. It's made us a lot of things. But this makes us lazy. AI in relationships. I want you to know this. There are, now this is just, I don't understand this, because I can tell you this, I'm a happily married man. Zero reservations about that. Would do it 1,000 times over with her every time. Did you know that our world is so lonely that men in foreign countries, I'm not going to list the countries, I would do that if we weren't online. That's okay. There are women who are smart, who are attractive, who have life going on. You know what they can't find? A man. You want to know why? They're dating their phones. AI girlfriends. It tells me what I want to hear. And there's a whole other side of that you don't want to know about. Then there is, as you think about this, and I told you this would be so much more encouraging. It's really not, is it? I'm sorry. I can't fix this. There's creation, NSFW, not safe for work. There's content issues. We mentioned this earlier. AI can create pictures in great quality, videos in great quality. If anything you want to see, you think it up, it draws it for you. And it doesn't just draw it. You can go to AI and say, I want it to look like a 1990s Polaroid. And it'll nail it every time. I want it to be so-and-so quality video, and it'll put it out. And here's what I want to be done, and here's who I want in it, and here's what I want it to look like. Here's what I want them to have on or not have on. That's where we're at, okay? There's also a lot of talk about exploitation of minors in this. There's a lot of talk because it's AI generated. It's not real. Is that okay? It's not okay. Okay, it's not okay. So see what line we're blurring now? We're not just blurring the line of pornography. We're blurring the line of pedophilia. And that's a word I didn't want to say in public. You didn't want to hear that word tonight, did you? So, now that we're ready to take hammers to our children's phones, here's what we got to do. Slow down. Slow down. Find the time for mamas and daddies to talk. That's number one. Set some ground rules. Figure out what you're going to do, because here's the truth. There's not a one-size-fits-all platform. Now, Bark is great. Remember, I told you I don't get Bark bucks for this, but I promise you, if I get paid for recommending them, I would. And I'm sure there's a way to do that, but I don't want any business in that. Find something that gives you the tools that you need to take care of your kids. That's what this is about, taking care of your kids. Then number 2, sit down with them, put the phone somewhere else, and say, hey, we want to talk. Just talk to them. How was your day? Anything bothering you? So when they come to you and say, Daddy, I got a question, they know that you care. And I know you care. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. It is 8:38 p.m. Who wanted to be, and listen, just acknowledge something to me. There are so many places we could have been tonight, right? There are. I can tell you care about your kids and your families and your loved ones because you're here. Now, I'm not saying those that aren't here, they don't care. I understand. I got you. I'm not throwing stones at anybody. But you're here, and I'm talking to you. We've got to let our families know we care. And more than just telling them I love them every now and then, they need to know whatever comes in their lives, they can come to you and say, Daddy, I got a question. I hope my boys, I hope they never feel, believe, think